Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kathie J Show. How are you today? I am Kathie J. Thank you so much for spending this half hour with us. I tell you every day, I love you. You're looking good. I just want to say really fast a little hello to my daughters, Avery and Gianna, who are home from spring break today. And I just want to tell you, yes, maybe you can come on the show tomorrow. That would be awesome. Stop bothering me. I love you very much. Please remember, keep our conversation going on social media and catch up with us on any of the shows you might have missed at KathieJShow.com. Okay, so let's get into it, everybody. I want you to hang out with us this half hour because we have some very important information for you. So the COVID-19 pandemic, it disrupted a lot of elective procedures. I know so many people that didn't go and get procedures done, like just follow-ups and checkups. And a lot of that was cancer screenings. You know, in 2020, colon cancer screenings dropped up to 90% in some areas. 90%. That means most of us just said, nah, I don't need to get checked. All right, that's not good. So during March, for Colon Cancer Awareness Month, we wanted to do a show to encourage everybody it's time to get screened. But you also got to understand why colon cancer should be on your radar. To help us do that, we've invited Dr. Sunny Kim from the University of Colorado Anschutz. Yay! Medical campus here. Hello, Dr. Kim.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, this is great. So a little bit later, we have Kendra who's coming on with her survivor story, which is awesome. A lot younger than most people.
Yeah.
What is colon cancer? Let's start right there.
Yeah.
It's the leading cancer of, I'm sorry, it's the third leading cause
That's right.
cancer of
That's
death.
right.
Cancer of death. Cancer death in the United States, I'm sorry.
So colon cancer is a series of mutations that happen on the DNA level. I don't know if you remember your kind of high school
yes.
biology, and what happens is that these cells that get mutated, they start growing, and they start growing uncontrollably. Initially, we see it as something called a polyp, which is just an abnormal growth, and then over time, it becomes more and more mutated and then becomes a colon cancer, which definitely needs to be removed out of your body before it spreads to other parts of your body.
Absolutely. And our colon, I mean, how long is it? How long do they say it is? How long is it?
It's about 6 feet.
That's crazy, all wrapped up in here.
Exactly.
And then we throw our American diet on it, and we're trying to put it's going down for 6 feet of stuff. Things can go wrong in the colon.
Definitely.
And where does it start, usually, the colon cancer?
So the colon wraps around your abdomen. It starts on the right side, it goes up, and then it goes down, and then it leads into the rectum, and then out of the body.
Yes. So where does the cancer start in the rectum? Does it start, or does it go in? Does it start in the middle somewhere that you guys have to go down 6 feet looking for? How do you find it?
It can start anywhere in the colon. So I've seen patients who have right-sided colon cancer, left-sided colon cancer, or rectal cancer. So it can happen anywhere. In our younger patients these days, we are seeing it more on the left side. So a lot of patients tell me that they're having bleeding, or a lot of pain in that area down there.
Okay, now colon cancer since the mid-2000s, the deaths have gone up.
That's
like
right.
we were just saying, in adults younger than 55.
Yes.
That's not normal.
That's not normal. So there was a very important paper that came out in a journal called JAMA, and they predict that based on the rates that we're dealing with right now, by 2030, it'll be the leading cancer death in men and women. Yes.
What?
Yes. And I feel like no one really knows that except for
all.
people
You
like
just gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? That's crazy. In 2030, that's 8 years away.
8 years away.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So when we come back, everybody, we're going to keep talking about this. Obviously, we need to. There are some factors or some symptoms. What are the risks? We're going to get into it. We'll be right back. Ramos Law is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. He's a medical doctor and a lawyer. Ramos Law, what makes us different makes us better. Kathie J. Welcome back to the Kathie J Show, everybody. So did you know that more than half of colon cancers in the United States are caused by risk factors that you can actually change? Dr. Sunny Kim is here from the University of Colorado Anschutz Medical Campus. Hello. Dr. Kim. Before we went to commercial break, you dropped a bomb on us, as my executive producer said. Okay, so in 8 years, colon cancer will be the leading cancer death in the United States.
Cancer-related death in young people.
In young people, people under 50?
Yes, 20 to 49-year-olds.
And you were saying in the commercial break, it's very stressful because you're seeing so many young people coming in now that are dying.
That's right.
And that's got to be hard. Recently, you just had 6 patients all under the age of 50.
I just had my clinic yesterday, and half of the patients were patients with colon cancer, and they were all under the age of 50, my youngest being 24 years old.
What?
And it's devastating because a lot of them have young kids, they have full-time
Yeah,
jobs.
absolutely.
The cost to society losing these people is huge. So,
Yeah, no, we
yeah.
know that. Okay, so the cost of losing people. We just went through COVID and realized how many people in important positions and things we've lost, and the kids that don't have parents now. Let's talk about the risk factors that you can change.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for colon cancer, we think that some of the modifiable, changeable risk factors include how much body weight you have on you.
Totally, yes.
So exercise, eating well, those
Boo!
things.
I'm kidding. I fight that all the time. Boo, Dr. Kim. But you're right.
But those are things that I think are within our control, and it's healthy for multiple reasons, not just cancer.
Agreed. Yes.
Drinking alcohol, even moderate amounts, actually have been linked to increased risks of colon cancer.
So it doesn't go in and kill it.
No. That's what actually, we would joke around about that during my training, about
Right.
the alcohol would just kill everything, but no.
Doesn't work like
no,
that?
No, it doesn't work like that,
Okay,
unfortunately.
All right. Now, so, and are those the big ones?
Processed meats, red meats, they have also been linked as well.
So there is something about red meats.
There is. But
Okay.
it's not a very strong correlation, but there is some correlation there.
So it sounds like it's stuff that you put in your body that goes in your colon.
Right.
The worse stuff it is, the worse it can rip up your colon. Is that kind of it? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, because a lot of the things that we eat, they slowly move through the colon, and as they're sitting in the colon, it can influence the lining of the colon, cause mutations there. And so those are the things that, what we eat and what we drink can affect the DNA mutations that I mentioned earlier.
Yes, and so you think that, but then you get a patient that is a vegan, that runs marathons, that is really healthy, and there's no rhyme or reason to it.
So unfortunately, with this rise in younger colon cancer, I think we're having some trouble within the oncology community really understanding what are their risk factors, because I'm seeing a lot are marathon running, carb.
They're not eating red meat. They're not overweight. They're not drinking alcohol.
That's right. I'm seeing a lot of vegetarians, vegans who also are developing colon cancer. And I think until we really figure out what the risk factors are in this younger population, these young people just need to be very attuned to their body and know that if they're having strange symptoms, bleeding, abdominal pain, changes in bowel movements, they need to go talk to a doctor as soon as possible.
Yes, if it comes out black, you need to go have it. Because I remember that because my grandfather passed away from colon cancer. My mother has ulcerative colitis. It runs rampant in our family, so we always have to be aware of it. Right. Signs that you cannot change. Things that you can't change. That would be genetics?
Exactly. There are a subset of patients who have inherited genetic factors that put them at risk of getting colon cancer. So some people just develop polyps in their colon for whatever reason, and these are the polyps, these growths that eventually become colon cancer. And so if you know that you have a strong family history of colon cancer, we recommend that you get screenings, colonoscopies 10 years earlier.
I did it. We'll talk about it in a second. But real fast, the African American community, please say their statistic.
Yeah, so unfortunately the African American community, they do have a higher risk of colon cancer.
Yes, that's crazy.
Yes, and so they also need to be very vigilant about their symptoms and making sure that they start screenings early as well.
We want that. So coming up, everybody, we're going to hear from a colon cancer survivor and her personal story, and also what advice she has for the rest of us. And I'll talk about my colonoscopy just a little. We'll be right back. Kathie J. Oakwood Homes is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. Oakwood Homes, building happiness. Kathie J. Welcome back to the show, everybody. So in Colorado this year, approximately 2,140 people are going to be diagnosed with colon cancer, okay? Sorry, let me get my math right. And 710 of them are going to die from it. That's not good at all. That's 710 people with loved ones that are going to really be missing them. So one woman who fought this cancer and has won the battle is here, everybody, sharing her story of what it's like being a survivor and what you learned along the way. Everybody, please welcome Kendra Mitchell to the show. Yay! Hi, Kendra.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Man, thank you for being here.
Yes.
Yes, you and Dr. Kim speak on a whole different language.
Yes.
It was during the commercial break. So let's talk about your experience. So you first had symptoms at the age of 34, way too young.
Yes, really I started 33. I had just gotten married and moved back to Colorado from Arizona, and just kind of passed everything off that was happening: fatigue, sleep loss, changes in my bowel habits.
Did you think it was stress?
Yes, I definitely was like, any excuse I could use. I just need to drink more water.
Look at that! What a beautiful dress.
Yes.
So you were already not feeling well in this photo.
I was stressed. We were just getting ready to move a week after our wedding, and so everything I could to talk, explain it away, I did.
Okay.
And it wasn't until 9 months later that I finally kind of was brave enough to tell my husband what was going on, and he took me to the doctor the very next day, and within 24 hours of that, I was getting a colonoscopy and being diagnosed with colon cancer.
Oh, it's that serious.
It was in my case.
Look, there you are. Is that you getting your colonoscopy?
Yes, that's actually the day I went in to have my part of my colon removed. After I was diagnosed. Yes.
So you have had part of your colon removed.
I have.
How much?
Just the sigmoid, which is actually the smallest part that you can take out. So all in that sense, I was very lucky. It wasn't easy, but I was able, because I caught it early, to skip radiation and chemo and a lot of the really scary stuff that happens.
So scary.
Yes, and it was because I caught it early.
Thank God, right? Dr. Kim, you see that?
Absolutely.
She's a survivor story, and that's what it is. You got to catch it early.
That's right. Yes. Anyone who catches cancer early, whether it be colon cancer or something else, it can be curable, easily curable.
Yes.
Tell me, the colonoscopy, everybody, I just want to talk about that really fast. So the colonoscopy isn't that bad, okay? Like Dr. Kim and I were like, we appreciated that cleanse. Like I got some Twinkies out. But and then it was some of the best sleep I've ever had. Right?
Yeah.
That the procedure of a colonoscopy, everybody, don't be scared of it because it's not that bad.
I've been lucky to have a couple a year for the last 5, so I can really attest to that the actual procedure itself is not bad at all. In all those procedures I've had, I've never had any, after effects or pain or anything that you would think might come from that. It's definitely all in the prep, but you learn things over time. You work with your doctor, and I found something that works for me that's not that bad.
Right, good. And so you not have, Dr. Kim, when you're in there and you have to take part of the colon. How does that? Where does it go? Where the bag comes in? I mean, that is right. I mean, how can you take part of our colon and we're still fine? How does that? Is it because we have 6 feet of it?
Exactly. It's long enough that fortunately there's a lot of redundancy in the human body, so we don't necessarily need all of it to be able to still function.
Thank goodness. Yeah. Right. Thank goodness.
But it's good to note that, because had I waited even a year or two, who knows how far down the line before I actually got checked, I could have been that late stage.
You would have, and then you could have been
very
so
possible.
Much,
yes.
Everybody. You have to so please, when you get those symptoms that Dr. Kim was talking about, I need you to go and get a colonoscopy. What do you say to the insurance if you're not in the area of, how do you get that?
Well, unfortunately, if you're under the age of 45, to get a colonoscopy, you'll really need a strong family history or symptoms.
Okay.
The bleeding, the blood in the stool, the abdominal pain, that gets you the colonoscopy. So I know we talked about it during the break, but I got mine when I was 40 because I had some on and off symptoms, and I said, you know what, let me just put this to rest and just make sure there's nothing there.
Yes, well, because you're very stressed at what you're seeing in all of us, and stress is also something. I know that my mom, her ulcerative colitis, when she is stressed, it just explodes, and then she can't eat anything. She's eating animal crackers, months at a time. It's ridiculous.
Stress was a real big factor for me as well, so that's something I speak to.
So then you turned it into being a volunteer.
Yes.
I love this. Tell me about that.
Well, I wanted to give back, but I found so much healing from that, and the community of friends that I've met through the several different organizations that I volunteer with.
Look at you dropping names like Miles. But this has now become your family.
Yes, definitely my family, and also just so wonderful to be a part of a group of people that really want to make change in the world. We always say that we're going to end this disease in our lifetime, no matter how long and hard that road is. We want people to know it can change and we can get rid of it. We can
get rid of it.
Yes.
So we have more to come, but really fast, I wanted to ask you, when you were your husband.
Yes.
You carried this for 9 months because you were embarrassed to tell him?
Yeah.
How do you hide something like this?
I know. Well, we had just gotten married. We just moved, in together really. And, every time he asked me, are you okay? I'm like, yep.
Yeah, everything's fine. I'm just shaving my legs again in the bathroom. Not a big deal. Woo, 2-hour process.
Yes. And actually, it was just a factor of things that kind of propelled me to this place of it's okay to talk to him. And luckily, like I said, he immediately made me go to the doctor. So it just goes to show that really don't be afraid. You speak up about your body, about what's happening, whoever you need to talk to. It makes a big difference.
And your colonoscopies, it's not sexy, but you need to talk about it. Have the conversation, especially for men, right? And so when we come back, I want to talk about that. And then we're going to get into some more stuff with Kendra and Dr. Kim after the break.
Kathie J.
The Colorado Lottery is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. Colorado Lottery, play on.
Kathie J.
Welcome back to the Kathie J Show, everybody. So when it comes to colon cancer screenings, there's been a change to when you should start getting colonoscopy. Dr. Kim, we just kind of briefly talked about it. It used to be no one under 45 needed it, but with all this new research and all of the people coming in under 45, you're saying get it done. What is it? What are they saying out there in the medical world?
So in response to this surge in young colon cancer, the U.S. Preventative Task Force decided that the screening age for colonoscopy should be dropped to 45. It used to be 50 for average risk, but now it's 45. But like we said earlier, I'm seeing patients under the age of 45 in my clinic. So 45, I think, was a compromise to make sure we caught some of these younger patients earlier. But like we've been saying, if you have symptoms under the age of 45, go to your doctor and try to get that scope.
Yeah, you have to, because and the symptoms, one more time, there could be blood in your stool. There could be
change in your bowel movements. If you were really regular and all of a sudden you're getting constipated frequently without any clear reason.
Don't write it off as stress, everybody.
Definitely.
Because that's what Kendra you did for 9 months.
Yes.
And it wasn't. And thank God you caught it. It was stage 1 colon cancer.
Yes.
And
So
they
it
took out that section.
Yes.
And now here you are.
Yes, and I mean, it's not without its struggles. I personally struggle with iron deficiency now, so it's not that it is going to be so easy, but the alternative of a late stage diagnosis, what happened to me was so much easier and better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm really grateful for that.
Dr. Kim, my grandfather passed away from colon cancer. Tell me, with men, there's the stigma, that they whatever. Can you say anything to any men watching or women that care about their men watching?
Yeah, no one likes to talk about poop, the rear end.
Right.
But
Except us.
Yeah. We're obsessed about it.
They're special.
But the message I want to keep hammering in is that if you find cancer early, it can be easily treatable. You may not need to undergo radiation or chemotherapy, similar to Kendra's situation.
That's the win.
Yes, that's definitely the win. Because a lot of my patients, especially the young ones, they find the colon cancer, but a lot of them need chemotherapy after their surgery. And it's not a walk in the park. They can get through it, but it's not a walk in the park. So don't be embarrassed. In the end, your doctors, we deal poop in the butt day in and day out. It's not embarrassing to us, and better to catch something early than, God forbid, have it spread throughout the body, and in that situation, it's unfortunately not curable.
And that's in there. There we go with the deaths. So I didn't mean to say that. I meant there we go with the death that you were saying in 8 years.
That's right.
It'll be the leading cancer death, colon cancer. I had a colonoscopy, and I didn't expect it. I knew it was coming, but I usually get upper endoscopies done because I have esophagus issues. So then they said, you might as well. You have family history, and I was so nervous. And I did the cleanse, and that is something else. I'll tell you what, you have no idea what your body's holding on to.
That's right. Yeah.
But then going in, it was nothing. Like you're not even aware that anyone was there. Is how I like to say it. It was some of the best sleep I've ever had. The recovery was fine, and then you get the peace of mind of knowing what you're feeling in your gut.
Absolutely.
That's the win.
And if it's clean, you don't have to do another one for 8 to 10 years.
That's what I like to
Yeah.
hear too. Okay. So the discomfort, anything, the fear of the discomfort that any of you have out there, I just want you to say, talk to your doctor because it is not that bad. As soon as you get those symptoms, everybody, I need you to go and talk to your doctor. So the American Cancer Society recommends that everybody get screened regularly. Delays in the screening could lead to colon cancer that's undiagnosed and untreated. And then, like Dr. Kim said, it's so much harder. So just call 1-800-227-2345. 1-800-227-2345 for more information, or go to cancer.org/get-screened. Yes, Kendra and Dr. Kim, any final words, Kendra, for people out here?
I just always tell people, listen to your bodies. You know best, and when something is wrong, I believe your body will try and tell you. So it's just about us trying to listen.
Right, because a lot of times you go, oh!
Yes.
And then you move on. Right, that's not it. Dr. Kim, is there anything you'd like to leave everybody with?
I totally agree. I think if you feel like you're not being heard, that there's something wrong, it's okay to seek a second opinion. And
Yes.
ask someone else.
Yes, Dr. Kim, seek a second opinion. Thank you so much for being here today, ladies. Get screened, everybody.